One Piece. The One Piece, known as the greatest treasure in the series. A man named Joy Boy owned it. Problem is that no one knows how to find it or even get there, until one specific pirate crew eventually reached it after centuries had passed. This pirate crew was famously known as the Roger Pirates, led by none other than Gol D. Roger. After obtaining the One Piece and reaching the final island, Roger became the king of the pirates. During his execution, he announced that his treasure was up for grabs for whoever could find it, thus starting the Great Age of the Pirates. Three Great Powers. The three great powers consist of three influential groups in the world of One Piece: the Marines, the Four Emperors, and formerly the Seven Warlords of the Seas. The power balance between these three groups consistently maintains peace across the One Piece world. Each keeps the others in check, and if one of them is eradicated, the balance of powers collapses, giving the other party the upper hand. Marines. The Marines are the enforcers of justice against those who challenge the world government's authority, making them the major enemies of every single pirate. Their primary duties include capturing pirates, protecting civilians, as well as maintaining peace and upholding justice. But oftentimes their pursuit of justice leads to oppression and corruption as they follow the world government's orders. The organization is full of diverse characters who interpret justice in many ways. Some follow Admiral Akainu's approach of absolute justice, while others employ a more compassionate approach. Despite their noble mission, the Marines are a highly complex group of people with morally vague motivations, with some of its members constantly questioning the entire system. Pirates. Pirates in One Piece play a huge role as they embody the spirit of freedom, adventure, and resistance to the oppressive influence of the world government. Another reason why pirates are important in this series is mainly because our protagonist is also a pirate. Monkey D. Luffy dreams of becoming the king of the pirates, a title that symbolizes ultimate freedom in his eyes. In this world, pirates are not just criminals, even though most of them actually are, but sometimes they are also depicted as people who took to the seas in search of adventure and treasure. In the bigger picture, pirates serve as the direct opposites of the world government, which is normally depicted as corrupt and oppressive. The Four Emperors. The Four Emperors are the most notorious pirates in the world of One Piece. Their influence and power rival the entire Marine force. They rule over the second half of the Grand Line, a part of the ocean called the New World, where they've established their authority by conquering and plundering other islands, making them part of their territory. Their titles serve as a reminder to the world of the potential threat they pose to everyone around them. Even a sick and old emperor called Whitebeard was able to infiltrate and destroy a Marine headquarters. Additionally, after Big Mom and Kaido lost to Luffy and his alliance back in Onigashima, they were stripped of their titles. The Seven Warlords. The Seven Warlords of the Seas are pirates that have gained the favor of the Marines by hunting down other pirates. Their presence also greatly contributed to the three great powers. Because of their affiliations with the world government, all of their past and future crimes are forgotten and forgiven. Oftentimes, they are referred to by others as the world government's dogs. Despite being affiliated with the world government, their allegiance is often questioned, as each member of the Warlords prioritizes their own interests over the government's. The only reason the world government held on to them for such a long time, despite them being uncontrollable individuals, was to prevent them from gaining even more power that could rival the government's authority. Devil Fruits. Not much is known about devil fruits, apart from it being a supernatural occurrence in the series, and that no one actually knows how they are formed or how they randomly spawned across the world. However, according to Dr. Vegapunk, devil fruits are formed because of the desires of mankind. But what is widely known is that devil fruits are cursed and odd-looking fruits that, when consumed, give those who eat them supernatural abilities. On the other hand, while it does grant some pretty nifty abilities that set the users apart from regular people, it does come with one serious drawback. Once consumed by an individual, they immediately lose their ability to swim, which is a huge handicap when you're a pirate or a marine traveling at sea miles away from dry land. Devil fruits, just like hockey, are also categorized into three types. Each type of devil fruit offers different abilities, some pretty cool and some totally lame. Paramecia types are the most common types of devil fruit that grant a person superhuman abilities. An example is Buggy's Bada Bada no Mi, which allows him to separate his body into bits and pieces without any virtual harm. Another example is Whitebeard's Gura Gura no Mi, or Quake Quake fruit, which grants him the ability to create vibrations at will. It is said that the vibration that the Quake Quake fruit can produce is capable of destroying the entire world. Logia types, on the other hand, are the rarest forms of devil fruit, not to mention also the most powerful of the three. This type of devil fruit allows the user to become an unstoppable force of nature, like becoming into the respective element of the devil fruit one consumes. The prime example of this type of devil fruit is Ace's flame fruit, which allowed him the ability to become and manipulate fire of any scale at will. The destructive capabilities of Logia devil fruits differ greatly depending on which type you get, but the common denominator of this type is that the users are virtually invulnerable to any type of attack. That is, unless you can use Haki. Zone types, on the other hand, allows the users to transform into a specific type of animal, but unlike the other two types of devil fruits, only the zone types are said to have a will of their own that affects the user. One example is Rob Lucci's Cat fruit, which allows Lucci to transform into a leopard, greatly increasing his physical abilities. Additionally, out of all the three, only the zone type is further classified into three categories. Ancient zones are rare variations of the zone type that allows the users to transform into extinct animals, such as mammoths, saber-tooths, and even dinosaurs. Mythical zones are a 1 in a million occurrence and the strongest variation of the zone devil fruit. Artificial zones. This variation, on the other hand, is the riskier off-brand of the zone-type devil fruit. The success rate of actually obtaining powerful abilities is only 10%, while the chances of the fruits causing uncontrollable laughter for the rest of your life is 90%. Hockey. Hockey is later introduced in the series as a mysterious power that allows individuals to harness their spiritual energy in order to perform extraordinary feats. Not all characters in the series possess the ability to use this mystical power, but it is not impossible for everyone to learn it. As it stands, there are three types of hockey. First is the armament hockey, which basically hardens any part of a human's body using your spirit. Second is the observation hockey, which allows the user to perceive and predict another person's actions before they can execute them. And lastly is the Conquerors Hockey, which can allow the user to overwhelm others and in extreme cases knock them unconscious using immense willpower. Now, only two of these three types of hockey are attainable through intense training. The Conquerors Hockey is only possessed by a select few throughout the series, with only 21 confirmed characters having it. Additionally, those who possess this very rare hockey are considered to have kingly ambitions and are very dangerous or valuable individuals, depending on which side they fight for. On the other hand, the advanced form of Conquerors Hockey allows the user to infuse their weapons with their conquering spirits, drastically increasing the effectiveness of their attacks, or cover themselves with the said hockey, making them invulnerable to attacks. Laugh-Tale. Laugh-Tale is said to be the last island in the One Piece world. It is also on this island where the greatest treasure the world has to offer can be found. For the past 900 years, only a handful of individuals were able to set foot on this mysterious island, the first being Joy Boy and the second being the Roger Pirates. During Goldie Roger's time, he and his crew would locate the island with the help of Kozuki Oden, the shogun of Wano, who helped decipher the poneglyphs. After they reached the island, all of them could not hold back their laughter, which became the reason why it got the name. Joy Boy. Joy Boy was born 900 years ago during the Void Century. His role in the world of One Piece is shrouded in mystery, although he was known to be the first pirate in history and the owner of the greatest treasure, One Piece. He was first mentioned during the Fishman Island arc back when Nico Robin was reading the Ryukyu poneglyph. Since then, his identity has become a recurring instance in the story. Poneglyphs. The poneglyphs are large cube objects that are scattered all across the world of One Piece. Each monument is inscribed with ancient texts that house a piece of history long forgotten by the world. Currently, only two people are able to read the texts written on the poneglyphs, and those are Nico Robin and Kozuki Sukiyaki. As the story progresses, it is revealed that there are 30 poneglyphs in the world, all classified into three: the historical poneglyphs, which tell the history of the world, the road poneglyphs, which are needed to find the final island, Laugh-Tale, and the instructional poneglyphs, which contain instructions or clues on how to find the historical poneglyphs. Void Century. The Void Century is a history-long period spanning from 800 to 900 years ago before the current storyline starts. Oddly enough, no archaeological history is recorded from that time. More importantly, studying or researching the Void Century has been banned by the world government and has become a crime punishable by death. One main example of this is the destruction of Nico Robin's homeland, the island of researchers known as Ohara. Their continuous defiance of the world government's orders led to an entire island's downfall along with its citizens. Celestial Dragons. World Nobles, more commonly known as Celestial Dragons, is a collection of people who think that they are better than everybody else. The World Nobles were first formed around 800 years ago when the 20 royal families banded together in order to eradicate the Great Kingdom. After their alliance was victorious, 19 of the 20 royal families formed the world government and relocated to Mary Joa on the top of the Red Line. This act would later spawn racist scums that oppress others by force, calling themselves Celestial Dragons. Races. As the story of One Piece progresses, various races are introduced to the story, all rich with their beliefs, background, and their role in the entire narrative. First, we have the humans, then the giants, the minks, the fishmen, and many more. Additionally, this is one of the reasons why One Piece is an interesting piece of fiction, as it tackles controversial things like racism and slavery. One example of these controversial acts in the story is when Arlong, a fishman, decides to conquer an entire island, demanding them to pay him in exchange for their safety. Revolutionary Army. The Revolutionary Army was formed by Monkey D. Dragon, Luffy's father and Vice Admiral Garp's son. This organization is an extremely powerful organization that directly opposes the world government and seeks to overthrow it for good. Their hatred is mainly directed towards the world nobles of Mary Joa, who openly control and benefit from the corruption of the world government. Unlike the Marines, who are focused on maintaining the existing conditions of their organization, the Revolutionary Army is willing to make extreme decisions to uphold their beliefs and bring about change for good. The revolutionaries are made up of diverse and powerful people who have united in their shared hatred for the world government. They symbolize hope for those countries that are oppressed by the world nobles, even though their actions may be too extreme. Ancient weapons. The ancient weapons are 3 weapons that are capable of causing mass destruction. Each one is named after a god for their capabilities: Poseidon, Pluton, and Uranus. It is believed that these weapons were used during the Century War by the 20 royal families to destroy the Great Kingdom during the Void Century. Interestingly enough, the weapons are not only inanimate objects because, in recent developments in the story, it was revealed that the weapons could also be living beings. The first ancient weapon to be introduced in the series is Pluton. Although it has yet to make an appearance on the big screen, it is believed that Pluton is a battleship capable of massive destruction. On the other hand, Poseidon is the first of the 3 to have made its appearance known. Despite being called a weapon, Poseidon is actually a special mermaid that has the ability to command the Sea Kings, large, powerful sea beasts that are also capable of mass destruction. It is also revealed that Poseidon appears only once every several centuries, and that the last mermaid who inherited the title Poseidon was born 800 years ago during the Void Century. And now Princess Shirahoshi of the Ryukyu Kingdom was confirmed to be the new bearer of the title. Meanwhile, there's absolutely no information about what or who Uranus is, other than the name.